I'm recording now. Oh.
Now I am.
And we're back.
We're recording.
Hey, folks. Queef it up, Jews.
We're here with one of the greats. What's the matter?
I just found my remote control in my pocket. How about that?
Wait, for what? Your remote control for what, though?
My Amazon Fire Prime jizz.
Hey, say, have
Sorry.
you guys seen... sorry, I sound like Mackie there.
Hey.
Say,
Hey,
have you guys seen Palm Springs yet?
Just
That's a hell of a
watched it.
picture.
Finished it last night.
No, but
Slept in it.
Hell of a
I'm
picture.
good friends with Kristen Milioti. We did a really bad movie together.
I don't know who
She's
that
the
is.
woman in the movie.
What?
Yeah.
All right, now we're off on your topic. We got to hear about how you
I
banged
didn't,
this
not
chick.
at all. No, she's actually like she's like an actual friend of mine, which is weird because she was in like Wolf of Wall Street and stuff, and then we did this really bad movie together called It Had to Be You. That's how I met her.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, yeah. You were in that?
Yeah, well, it was she and I played her like a sad lump of shit boyfriend, and she was just
wow.
really cool making that movie, and then we ended up just hanging out, and she became like a legitimate friend, and yeah, she's super talented, and it's awesome. She told me she was making that movie with Andy Samberg. I always say his name wrong. Samberg?
Sandberg.
I fuck it all up.
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg, yeah. That's a different guy. Andy Samberg, but she was like, I'm going to go make this movie with him, and it's kind of like Groundhog Day. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I saw it came out, and I still haven't watched it. And then all my people I love and respect are like, it's unbelievable. And I feel shitty that I haven't watched it yet.
It's good.
Mark,
It's
did you
fun.
like it? I didn't hear you when you said you liked it.
It took me a minute, like 20 minutes in, you're like, this is silly and dumb, and then I couldn't stop, and it has a lot of great jokes in it, and it comes together at the end, and she's great, he's great. I liked it.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, here's what happened with me. I was going in, I heard it was good, and then I saw the poster, and I just saw two people in a pool. I didn't know it was Samberg. I'm not a big Samberg fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
same.
funny. He's underrated. I think he's funnier than a lot of people give him credit for.
He's
Yeah,
funny,
he's
but I
good.
feel like he's
It's
a
silly.
generation below me or something.
Right.
Like, if I was 20, I'd be like, oh, this is great. I'm like, get out of here.
I recommend watch Hot Rod. See if you think Hot Rod's funny.
I watched Hot Rod.
It was too
watched Hot
silly.
Rod.
It's too children-y for me.
It
Too
was
kiddie.
silly enough for me that I just loved rolling around in its silliness.
I tried.
I feel exactly the same as Mark. I tried. I'm like, what is this? I felt like it was for my nephew.
I think I'm gonna
and,
hate. I think I'm gonna hate Palm Springs.
No, Palm Springs is first class. This is class. I thought it was gonna be. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was Samberg and the whole thing, and it is fantastic.
But don't build it up. Don't build it up because
Yeah.
you got to go in fresh.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm a builder. I build, baby.
dude. But
Bob's a
sometimes
builder.
people they've built for me and it's crumbled because I've gone in and been
Yes.
like, and then I feel bad then I feel dumb, like I don't know
Right.
what good stuff is. Where I'm just like,
That's the thing about movies is everybody's like, this is so good. Then you watch it, you're like, man, I'm so bored. Am I dumb?
Yeah.
Like I've tried to show people Godfather 2, and they're like, yeah, it's all right. Can I look at my phone now? And I'm like, do you hate it? Am I dumb? Well, which one is it?
I showed.
I don't buy into this built up too much shit.
No,
Get out of here. If
no,
it's good, it's good.
no, that's real.
Anyone that's like, you built it up too much, that's why I don't like it. That's insane. Anything, it should be able to stand its test of itself.
But here's the thing: you can like a bad movie. Everybody goes either it's good or bad. So you like or you don't like. But you can like something that sucks.
Absolutely, it can bring you joy even if it really just sucks ass.
Right.
But
See, that's a
List.
very interesting conversation, though.
Yeah.
If you like it, does it actually suck?
well,
That's the thing.
also, is a great movie good? Like, can you see a great movie and be like, I don't think it's good. I didn't like it. There's stuff sometimes that's too smart for me, where I'm like,
Sure.
I don't know that was a reference to that. And then they're like, and the people that ruin it are the people that do get it and are like mad at you for not getting it.
Right. Yeah, I like what I like. I'm not gay.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know the sun shimmering off the top meant that his mother had just died.
Right.
I didn't follow that.
But that's.
But I tried to.
Sorry.
People tried to give me this with 3 billboards. They're like, it's because it was built up too much. I'm like, no. It's a piece of shit.
I never
bad.
saw
It's not
it.
because it was built
Yeah.
up.
That movie's
that doesn't
bad.
make sense.
Well,
Bad movie.
And Joe, I know, and Norman and I both know that you follow the Oscars like a sports, like it's a sport. Like you know the nominees and everyone with build up. I would say the Oscar build up ruins a lot of movies for me. And sometimes a movie's so built up for the Oscars that I'm like, I don't even want to fucking see it because I'm not going to like it as much as you're telling me to like it.
Yeah.
I hear that. I mean, the Oscars have gone rogue. I mean, it's insane now. I mean, it was always kooky, but now it's really goofballs.
Now it's like an acid trip in fucking Santa Monica with a billionaire, where they're just like, we're all the same. It's a weird shit where you're like, I don't know, dude. I'm here because it's my job.
Well, the Oscars, it became a sad off. Like, what's his name? Sean Penn's a retard. It's Oscar nom. He's gonna get it. And it just became like, who can be sadder and more awkward in a wheelchair?
Yeah, they do a real anal raping in the movie. And
yeah,
like, give that man a statue.
Exactly. That's what it's now. That's what it is now. It's like, he played a black woman on the edge. Oscar. It's not even about the best performance.
Yeah, there's always been. Sorry, I got something in my eyeball. There's always been weird shit about. Oh God, it's distracting me. Something in the eye. I got it out. I gotta figure it out.
Semen.
There's always been a little bit of that, like, the really violent movies didn't win Academy Awards for a long time. Comedies never got nominated, and there's always like, all right, well, Scorsese gets it for The Departed because we fucked up in 1980 and 1990 because we were assholes.
Yeah,
and he was outside of the Hollywood system, so he didn't get one.
It's new faces. It's just new faces.
Yes.
It's just like sure, in the 70s and 80s, they were getting the right young comics that didn't have fucking anything and they were giving them stuff. But now it's like, well, we owe this manager a favor because we booked a major headliner. So here's this kid.
And just like the agent, they don't want to miss out. So you got to have Selma in there because they don't want to seem like they're not hip to the culture, baby. They don't get their pulse on the jizz or whatever it is.
Yeah, and then they do like a green book, and that's their Southern mama. Or they're like, it's real big, but it's inside baseball. But if you fucking get that, that was pretty on point.
Yeah.
But that movie I thought was great. But I just think if a movie like The Silence of the Lambs, whether someone says it's okay or they say it's great, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
I mean, like, if you're like, I didn't like it because too many people said it was great.
All right.
That implies that you're just like, all right, well then fuck this movie.
I've heard people shit on Heat. I think Heat is a great movie.
Yeah. Love Heat. Love
It's
Silence of the
fantastic.
Lambs. But here's the thing. This is the thing, though. Like, younger people don't like Silence of the Lambs as much because it's slow and it builds. Mm-hmm. And then so it makes you wonder, are there movies from the 50s and 60s that I hate but are amazing? But because it's a different generation.
Yeah, the rhythm is different.
Right.
Well, some of those things you do have to you have to factor in that you're like, but nothing had ever looked like this before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know
exactly.
what I
mean?
The first time that was done, that trope.
I just remember being a kid and being frustrated with movies from the 60s and 70s because you couldn't see everything. So you'd be like, I remember like looking at like, the foggy parts of screens. You'd be like, what is that? And I'm not paying attention to the movie. Like, I can't fucking see what's behind that chair.
Yeah, I remember thinking that with The Godfather because I would rent it on VHS, and it was like the original VHS from 1983 or whatever VHS became a thing, and it's a dark movie anyways, like literally dark, and it would be like an old cube TV with the rounded front, and it was like, a shitty TV and a shitty VHS and an already dark movie, Gordon Willis, Prince of Darkness, and you're like, I don't even know what the fuck, like, you couldn't even see the cat in the beginning, like, he's holding a cat, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, he's got a towel.
Yeah, they reference characters, like, I remember watching Trying to Be Scared at the first Halloween, and I was just more annoyed that I couldn't see everything, where I'm like, was that him? I don't know if that was him. I think that was.
Yeah. And you feel like a racist because you're like, that guy is the same guy from before. Like, no, that's a different guy. You're like, well, they both have mustaches, so I'm fucked.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't tell Italians apart. Jesus Christ.
Right. It's true.
Well, that's like, remember watching sports when you were a kid, and you'd have to wait like 40 minutes to find out the score because they didn't have the score at all times.
Yes.
That's one of the things that I think ruined SportsCenter was just having that sports ticker. SportsCenter used to be fun because it was like a mini movie with highlights where they'd be like, and then they came back, but then the Jazz, and it'd be like the Jazz Cavs regular season game, and you'd be like, I want to see who fucking won this game.
Yeah. You needed the recap or you were fucked.
But I can remember being livid coming home when you're a little kid and turning on like the Sox game, and you'd watch like 20 minutes. You're like, what is the score? Like, just losing my mind. You're like, why the fuck aren't they saying the score?
Yeah.
And now it's just up there all the time. So that's a nice innovation. Dan has COVID. You guys saw that.
I missed it.
I'm on an infection tour right now. I'm just out there licking everything. I've been re-showing old NFL games on NFL Network and on Fox sometimes, and they showed the 98 49ers Packers game. And just to see, number one, it's Summerall Madden, so how can you not enjoy listening to that game? But watching how, like, the patience we had even back then for things, for them showing like a clip a little bit longer, not filling it with like a fucking stat sheet or like a robotic monster dancing, like when they were just like, Garrison Hurst had this many rushing yards in the first 6 games for the 49ers. There's Steve Young. They're just like going through. They're not like, now it's like, are you intrigued? They just keep fucking pushing.
Right.
So I bet there's kids that think 80s movies are like, yeah, this is slow as fuck. This sucks.
Of course. I mean, everything's like that. Comedy is like punchier. I mean, remember how slow and drawn out comedy specials were? And then like porn.
Yeah.
Porn used to be just like a guy and a lady, and she had pubic hair, and he said hello, and then they slowly fucked. The porn was like 45 minutes, and now it's just like, I got a tattoo. I'm going to shove this up your ass, and you're going to cry, and your makeup's going to run.
Dude, seriously.
Everything's got to get pumped up.
How much makeup was running in the 70s? Very little.
Not a thing.
Very little mascara running in porno in the 70s.
Exactly. Yeah, and then the gaping and the finger and the squirting, none of that was happening.
Let's go live back in 1978. Our comedy would fucking blow their mind. Or we'd be too fast. All of us would just be like, punchline, punchline, punchline. And they'd be like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, even rap was like a hibbity hop, hop, hoop, a doop, a doop, a deep. You know, it was so slow.
If you could go back to 1 year, for 1 year, what year do you take?
Wait a minute. One year that we lived?
I already have my answer.
You already have? Well, you go first.
1 year.
Set the
table. You get to pick 1 year. You get to live there for a year. I'm going back to 1975. I'm going to go to the Red Sox World Series. Fisk is going to hit the home run. I'll be there.
Okay.
I'm going to go see Cuckoo's Nest, opening night of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And my parents started banging. I'm going to go watch that for sure. I want to know what happened there.
Marty McFly.
And, like to see some teenage tits on my mother and
Deb.
I think 75 to me just seems fun because you get that New York, that grungy, fucking weird shit New York going, and the Stones are around. You know, you kind of
see that's
some good stuff.
I like it.
I'm close to you. I was going to say 72 or 73 because you know Zeppelin is fucking massive. You could go see a Zeppelin show. Go hang out.
Yeah.
Coke really isn't around, but if you have it, it's just an up. Not a downer.
Pre-AIDS.
Yeah, STDs were like a fun little joke then. Like, I got the clap, you know. And it wasn't like lethal stuff, you know.
It wasn't making your insides fall on your outside. Now it's like it's like you received oral sex, you have cervical AIDS.
Right. I mean, if you guys are, because that's a great era. The 70s, mid 70s is great because it's still like Americana, baseball. The Vietnam War is over. You know, like everything was fun. Rock and roll was there.
I would change my answer to 75 so I could be there with you, Joe, and we could enjoy it as future boys back in the 70s.
Is that
thanks, pal? I appreciate that.
Dazed and Confused-ish era?
Yeah, that's around that.
Yeah, see, that's pretty badass.
That was 79. I think that was 79.
79, not a bad year. Bill Walsh takes over the San Francisco 49ers. They draft a young Joe Montana. My parents are doing cocaine in San Francisco.
Ooh,
that's Smashing
living.
Pumpkins song.
Yeah, dude. It's a great Smashing Pumpkins song.
I might, if you guys are taking that era, I'm going to go way back and go Roaring 20s.
Ooh.
Just because, I mean, it's like, I'm a white man.
Yeah.
I'm in New York City. Booze is flowing. The dancing girls or whatever those girls are called, you know, with the little short skirt and the, I don't know, talkies are not even a thing. Like it's Chaplin days. I don't know. That seems pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And it's making me think it would be fun to be in 75 with Joe List, but it would also be fun to go back to 1875 and be a fur trapper in the Rockies of Colorado.
That's little dangerous. Higher murder rates than we had even in the 70s. Okay.
Yeah,
although I'm going to a murder rate area too. But
you're going to New York in 75.
What about late 20s? You go and watch that. This always blows my mind. You go and watch the Marx Brothers live. They were live.
Come on.
I've talked about this before on our podcast.
Yeah.
Like Coconuts was a live show.
That's crazy.
Insane.
People were going to the theater to watch the Marx. They must have been murdering.
Murdering.
You go
Just-
see a Marx Brothers show and you leave and you're like, that's just the funniest thing. And then you don't realize they're just sleeping at the train tracks because they pay them shit.
Yeah, right. That was like probably seeing Bring the Pain live.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's fucking moving the audience different.
Yeah. What about Babe Ruth? Isn't that in that era?
29.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, that would be something.
I mean, you think 69, but I've watched now, I think I tweeted this, I've watched enough documentaries about Woodstock to be like, I would not want any part of that.
No, that's hell.
Not one thing is appealing about
I'm
Woodstock.
more of an Altamont fella, you know? I want to mix it up with the HAs.
Cool out, everybody. Cool it. Mick Jagger up there.
Guys, everyone be okay. Stop.
There's so many of you.
Seriously, there's so many of you. It would, man. But it would also, you think of 1950, post-war, the economy is thriving.
True. You're a T-bird. You got your fucking top down and your vet.
Smoke everywhere. I still love that. That's a big factor. Alcohol isn't a problem yet.
Not yet. You're like your greaser and all that. The poodle skirts. Yeah, that's fun. The leather jacket. That is intriguing. Like the Back to the Future day.
I know this is going to seem weird, but I would even say go back to the mid-90s to be our age in 1995.
I was thinking 94. I mean, first of all, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, Shawshank, same summer.
Pearl Jam, Nirvana.
There's something a little depressing about going back to a year we experienced.
Yeah, but we were children. We were like
sure.
kids.
No, I know, but I guess. I mean, still, but I mean, you got a time machine and you're going back.
I don't know, man. You know what
15
it is?
years?
Bringing my year to the mid 90s, and this is a factor you'll both respect. Seeing Jerry's girlfriends, I always like their style. They're always hot. I like that mid 90s hot lady style.
Yeah, one was 17 years old.
Hey, not the real Jerry. The show.
I know.
8 years
But
ago, not.
Also, in those 90s years, you could be like Biff with the almanac. You're spouting off 80s stats. Imagine, back then.
Yeah, dude. If you went back to 95, invest in Apple.
Oh, Jesus.
Just pull the Duff McKagan, invest in Starbucks and Apple, and then you just have a ranch in Montana for the rest of your life.
Ooh, that's not too. And you're still like, you can't get canceled, really.
Oh my God! There's no podcast. There's no nothing.
No.
You're doing interviews. They got to go find it in an old microfiche.
Yeah, and you could have your act now. You'd be ahead of your time.
How about this? Who are you spending a day with? They have to be dead. Because alive, we're just going to say Larry David. But has to be dead. What dead person are you bringing back to spend a day? None of this lunch shit. You're spending the day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a movie.
It depends on what kind of energy. If immediately, I would think Hunter S. Thompson would be a lot of fun to wake.
You're big into that.
Wake up into an Aspen and have grapefruits in the morning while you just fucking smoke a hash joint and then shoot the newspaper at noon. But also, I think Pryor would be a crazy one to just spend a day with.
Interesting. So this person's in their prime because you don't want him in the MS wheelchair.
I don't want HST late in life, and I don't want Pryor not being able to talk. I want 79 Pryor or 72 Hunter S. Thompson.
That's a great one. I got to think about this. Joe, you go.
I feel like 72 Hunter S is going to be all bent out of shape about the election, though. You got to get him pre-November.
You're right. 71 Thompson is what you want. You want he's writing the book. He's writing one of his best books. He's in love with the McGovern campaign. He's having fun doing acid and smoking weed.
Right. See, this one I didn't actually think about beforehand.
That's a great question.
75, I had stocked, rocked, and loaded. I mean, alive, I'm going Woody or Larry David, but dead.
Dead is tough.
I mean, Carlin, obviously, but it feels too obvious. I mean, I got enough time with comics.
Yeah.
I can talk to Quinn. He's modern.
Yeah.
Carlin.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking Groucho, but that's also a kind of a comic. So. But, I mean, he seemed like a cool dude, and we mentioned the Marx Brothers earlier. But, I'm thinking Mark Twain would be interesting. He's probably got some stories.
Oscar Wilde would be a fun one.
Oh.
I would even say
he might be-
Ernest Hemingway.
I thought Muhammad
get-
Ali would be interesting.
That's a
'cause
real good one.
He was so cocky and full of life. It'd be fascinating to just hang with him.
Yeah.
Maybe Lennon. I mean, I hung out with McCartney. Just wanted to put that out there. You know?
That's true.
Pryor would be something. I mean, I feel like. I mean, I guess we get like a hall pass too, and you can fucking do blow and drink.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're hanging out with Hemingway and you're sober, what are you talking about? If you're
Right.
with
Oh, Hugh
Papa-
Hefner in his heyday could be interesting.
Norman, great one. Like a 69 Hefner.
Yes, you got.
What about? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're in the Playboy After Dark. You're in the mansion. You got the gals around. You got the Dick Gregory there, and
Yeah.
people like that. Sammy Davis. But all right, you go.
What if I change it up a little bit? I go Grace Kelly, and I take I stab at it
Take a shot at Grace Kelly.
at Princess Grace. You know what I mean? See what I mean? Maybe I could charm her. I don't know. I got a whole day.
If we're doing that, I'm coming in hard for a Sophia Loren,
Oh,
a young Sophia Loren.
that's in my top 5.
Yeah, boy, this is
That's a good one.
this is tricky. Oh, I think you know what I might take though. I bet he's a fucking asshole from all accounts. I got 2 guys, both known for being douchebags.
I legitimately thought you were going to say Tupac when you go.
I heard Tupac
No.
as
I
well.
was like, what?
No, I'm thinking John Hughes, Stanley Kubrick. Those would be very interesting to me. but
Kubrick's
they're
a bad
both
hang.
quite unpleasant.
Yeah, I'll say that right now.
Was Hughes a bad hang?
He was. I heard he was just a little bit. First of all, he's a Republican. He's very curt, and he used to like set up meetings at like 4 a.m. because he had an idea. And he's like, "Everyone come over here." He'd make his. He like had like 12 different assistants because they kept quitting because they'd just have him there all night. He'd have like group meetings that went till like 6 a.m. and shit.
Damn.
Yeah,
And he could be quite snappy, from what I understand.
But
brutal.
he did Home Alone.
Yeah, did some great ones.
I mean, the best. So those would be interesting to me. Maybe a John Glenn couldn't hurt either, but
Hey.
it's a lot of listening, I have to say.
Yeah, like a
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of who has lived. Like you always hear these stories about like Joe Montana, like banged everybody and drank all day and that kind of shit. He had a cool house. Just trying to think of who's lived it up, like really
I'll tell you who would
pushed
be-
it.
I'll tell you who would be pleasant, and it's funny because John Hughes didn't make me think of this. Joe Montana did. John Candy
Oh,
would be a nice
man.
hang.
Oh, what a fun
Candy.
guy!
I'll say this of mid '90s Farley.
That's true.
Oh, good one. And Belushi might have been fun as well.
Belushi might have been fun, but I feel like a Farley would be like, wow,
Yeah.
we really a New York 1992 night with Chris Farley.
Yes. Talk about a speedball with a bunch of hookers.
But
and-
no, before that, but when he's still drinking and he's new at SNL, so he's worried about getting fired.
Right,
So he's
right.
like, before he went like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like by all accounts you would be laughing your ass off the entire
My
time.
God. And
God.
especially with that crew of like young Sandler, Spade, Rock, they're just all bullshitting around as like a young group.
Yeah, do you get the whole ecosystem
I think
like
you go
that, or is
wherever
it just
he goes.
him?
You go wherever he.
Oh, hey, fucking great.
So like,
I mean, we're conflating a little bit. Now we're in the time travel situation. This was bring back for a day.
I didn't know it was
at your
bring
house.
back. I thought it was go back to their time and their prime.
But go back to the prime works too. I mean, whatever. I mean, there's no rules here.
Joe
just had a
Namath in the
decent one.
'60s in New York. That's a fun hang.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
fun.
That is fun.
How about Hicks? He seems like it'd be nice.
Yeah, but you want
I
to get
don't know.
Hicks. I feel like you want to get Hicks right as he gets to England, not after he's been there for a while.
right.
I think I want terminal Hicks.
Yeah, you want seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, Hicks?
Too much
kind of.
government, the government blowing smoke in your face. Come on.
Oh, dude, I got a
good
great
point.
one for you guys. A mid '80s Rodney hang.
Oh, back to
That's
school.
good.
Back to school
Time.
where he's got the club and he's just in the terry cloth robe all the time, and you're just fucking with him.
Yeah, that's good.
What if we cheat the system? I pick Ted Knight. You pick Rodney. We get together.
We have a hang.
Double date.
That'll be a fun hang. We just do a
That's
whole.
pretty good.
We'll do a whole Caddyshack hang.
Oh, that was my
That was
Ted
good.
Knight impression.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's fun. All right. Last question. You could be on the set of any movie.
Ooh.
Wow.
Fly on the wall. You got your own director's chair just right on the sidelines. You're hearing cut, action. You're watching the actors from 10 feet away.
Boy, I mean, The Godfather comes to mind just because the star power and the history of it. Coppola's like one of my idols. I mean, seeing Brando walking around all crazy.
Wow.
You got Pacino. You got young Pacino over here. I got a thing for Diane Keaton.
I would say Lebowski. You're watching the Coen brothers throw lines at Goodman and Bridges. You're seeing jokes fly. You're seeing subtle things, the brand take of like, well, we love our bunny, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Hoffman's there.
I mean, dude, you got Philip Seymour Hoffman, John Goodman, Jeff Bridges. You got the whole, you know, Julianne Moore. Come on.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Squad.
That's a good one.
Julianne Moore I could do
All
without.
right, why don't you chill out? She's a nice lady. I sat in front of
Coen
her.
alone would be
watching the Coen brothers just kind of add stuff would be awesome to watch. What about you, Norman?
Right. I mean, I was thinking a Christopher Guest, like a Spinal Tap, just because it's like the beginning of those. You see how they found their footing and they're also young, and like see what would actually be improvised. But then you got Pulp Fiction, which is so star-studded, and it's like a weird indie movie, so you get that edge to it.
And it's like Tarantino starting to find out how to do his thing.
Right, young Quentin, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to bring it back so we have every answer has this, but one of those Marx Brothers, Duck Soup. I mean, the four of those guys walking around.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you like to see Harpo as they yell cut and he walks off and starts talking?
Oh, my God.
That would be insane. It would also, there's a couple movies where you just want to be there just to see, like, oh, that was a lot of fun. Like, look at Animal House. Like the humanity around that.
That's true. That's a good one.
Belushi fly in and they're just like, all right, fucking go.
Right, and like, was that guy Doug McKinney or Steve McKinney? He's like the mastermind behind Harvard's Lampoon and all that shit, the magazine.
Oh, I got a good one.
Doug Kinney.
Doug
Kinney.
That would be fun to be behind the scenes. Wayne's World.
Ah, yeah, love Wayne's World.
I feel like just like with the different people around, with Rob Lowe and you got Lorne Michaels lurking around, but then you're seeing jokes. You're seeing him do like the bits, you know, at the shop and shit like that. Can
we just say what is going on with comedic? I know we got to wrap this up, but comedic actors. Mike Myers was a fucking genius. Wayne's World, Sprocket, Austin Powers, and then Eddie Murphy, genius, and then Jim Carrey, comedic genius, and they all went nuts.
Yeah, I think people ask it's like that Chappelle clip that's been going around about Kanye, where it's from his Inside the Actor Studio, and he talks about Martin Lawrence having a stroke, and he said it's the best sleep he ever got in his life. And it's like a thing where I think, and we all know it, when you have an agent and you do something, they're like, do another thing. And you're like, okay, I'll do that. And like, do that other thing too. And you're like, how do you think I'm supposed to do the first two things I did? And they're like, another thing and another thing. And those people are so good. They get them done on a very high level that eventually it just stacks up and crushes them.
I guess so. I think a lot of the fun we've talked about it even at our level. A lot of this stuff, the fun gets taken out of stuff. Yeah. And you have to start to search.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it gets, you just get
think about how excited all of us are just to get back to regular stand-up. Just to be going to the Cellar for a Tuesday night spot and then over to a bar show and then going home, just working on one new bit.
Totally. But I mean, it's a weird through line with comics who especially like Daniel Day-Lewis is this brilliant actor guy, whatever, but he's like, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to move to Paris and cool out for a while. But like these comedians, they just burn out. Like Jim Carrey, you see him on TV, you're like, this guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah. I mean, you see Eddie Murphy just create everything awesome, have a perfect 5 years. And then he's like, I don't know. I'm just going to be weird the rest of my life.
Yeah, exactly.
It's strange.
I wonder if it's like an accident. I wonder if it's like being in an accident. Like you get fucking rattled. Like you just smash into something and then you're like, I'm fucking different now.
I get it. Sandler is kind of like, I'm not saying his latest movies are good, but he's kind of stayed sane, it seems like.
Because he drops out. He drops out of sight. He just goes away. I think that's very important. I think you just need to go away if you have something big. If you do something big, just go hide for 6 months.
Yeah.
And for Sandler, I think never being great helps. I think
just make it enough.
I'm teasing.
I mean, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, like, I'm not saying they're brilliantly written, but he's so good at them. And then it just got weird and fell off like fucking Jack and
Waterboy's a
Jill.
classic. Suck my dick. Waterboy's a classic.
Yeah, he's great in Waterboy, but yeah, like Click, Jack and Jill, and all that shit just got real sad.
It's bad news. I feel like we're ending on a sad note.
Yeah.
It's
Who's
all right.
Hopefully, we'll stay good.
Farrell's still hanging in there.
Yeah, he is, but there was a dip there too.
There was a big dip. Yeah, he did the same movie 20 times.
And Force Majeure, the remake of that other movie, is the worst movie I've ever seen. I lasted 25 minutes in the theater.
Oh man,
I never heard of it.
Oh, it's terrible. Him and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who I'd like to make love to.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, still hanging in.
Oh, big
yeah,
time.
big time.
All right, well, we gotta wrap it up. Dan, this was so much fun.
I love
I
you guys.
appreciate it, man. Yeah, this is fun. I mean, this is like a hang. I mean, I'm glad hopefully the people enjoy hearing it because I enjoyed doing it. Good to see you.
Dude, I always love coming on the Tuesdays.
Are you still in Jersey?
Yeah, dude. Just laying low.
How's it going? Give us a chicken wing if it's a
It's
nightmare.
going good. Now I'm
right.
gonna take the dog at the dog park. I'm excited.
Oh, fun. You're a
Wow.
dog guy
I'm a
now.
dog
It's
guy.
weird.
Domestic.
I'm a domesticated dog
Domesticated.
guy, and I love doing it.
Good.
Dad's a chicken winging. All right, buddy. Thanks for having us. Oh, shit. You have something to add
I was
there,
going to
Mike?
say, I wonder if any of us, like this COVID thing, I wonder if any of us were about to bottom out or get weird, and then this saved us.
Honestly,
unknowingly.
You know what's
I feel
weird?
that way.
Honestly, Norman, I think that is the case a little bit with me because I was in a really lucky place to have Bonfire and Billions going. And I was hitting the road hard trying to get a new hour or just trying to get new stuff.
Yeah.
After my special came out, I was feeling really fucking burnt out. I was feeling really like I was on stage at Comedy Works in Denver, and half of the show I was like, "Is what I'm saying at all funny? What is any of this?" And it was like this kind of like weird pessimism in my brain that I've never really had.
Interesting.
This all shutting down was like, I'm not happy about it, but in hindsight, looking at it, it's like, man, it's made me miss stand up so much, and just like going and doing a weekend, I was like, this is unbelievable. I've missed you so much. And then also like, it's too early to come back. For me, I thought, a month ago when I went to St. Louis, I was like, I think this is a little early, but
yeah. It's funny how that worked. Like, just think if COVID never happened, we'd still be foot on the gas all day, every day, this whole time. And that's crazy to think about.
I mean, yeah, you think about it, it's fucking almost August. So you're looking at your dates and it's like we would have like Montreal, I think, is coming up. This would be like Montreal week. If it was in Montreal, and like people would be going to Edinburgh and people would be like, have you seen this person's special? And this person got a special, and there'd be weird deals in the air.
Yes.
And instead we had to buckle down and shave our heads and get dogs.
Yeah, maybe it's for the best.
I think it's been good.
All right.
Well,
we brought it back up, maybe. A little.
I think so. Ish.
All
right, buddy.
I love you guys.
Great to see you, man. Thanks for doing it.
I love you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, great to
see you.
see you.
We'll talk soon.
I love you.
George is saying cut it.
I love you.
Queef.